Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, Teenage Mutant Firefighters, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Working on the cheap turtle power.
Working on the cheap turtle
Cheap
power.
side. There you go. So we're going back, as reiterated in earlier videos, we're going back to previous recordings that we weren't able to record.
And for
at the
Jimbo
time.
here, it's a blast from the past. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the arcade.
Yes, so I grew up with the Ninja Turtles. The week that we're covering is Let's Game Ontario 53, the TMNT arcade game. And this is such a classic arcade game. It's one of those that will attract people from
all over the world.
Yes, exactly. I was going to say this is a game that's close and near and dear to people's hearts. Pretty much it's the game that took the Turtles from, okay NES, okay NES game to holy freaking fireballs.
Yeah.
Holy Cobra Commander, Batman.
Cobra!
Yes. Anyways, this game, all the Ninja Turtles all have the same special attack. They have this weird lounge, I think.
Yeah.
Attack.
It wasn't as
right.
It wasn't as pronounced as.
But I mean, it's such an amazing game. It doesn't take a lot of quarters too, so anyone can, just jump in and play. And it's got amazing music. I don't remember the composer of the music, but it's a very famous composer that's done a number of amazing scores for games.
Really good. Melts in your ears.
Melts in your ears. That's not something you hear all the time, but it is true. The music is very catchy and people like it. Very popular game. The arcade version came out before the port, so the port had 2 extra levels, as you may or may not know, that weren't in the arcade game. So the arcade game, I think when we initially played it, we could complete it in about 40-50 minutes. It's not really a coin guzzler. It's aged decently. I mean, it is cartoony, and it does look a little bit pixelated for its time, I guess. But they did do a high-definition remake of the game that came after Ninja Turtles in Time, and totally different sounds and everything. And as great as that version is, again, what seems to be the case, a lot of these games unfortunately only have a certain lifespan on all of the networks, PlayStation Network and Xbox Live, so you can't access it anymore. But this game, I think if it was remade, I think a lot of the heart would, even if it had the same music with different sound effects, I think the spirit of this game would be lost, unfortunately, because it's sort of a game of its time.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those games where it's better to just go to the arcade or like the Chuck E. Cheese's, get on a machine, insert a few quarters in, or do that little trick where you put a quarter in and yank the string.
Again, they tried to remake Turtles in Time, and I think if they tried to remake this game and put in a high definition version, unless they just filtered it with a screen technique, it wouldn't be the same. It's definitely a game that the type of music, the way it was done, I couldn't imagine a remake would make the game any better. It would just not be the same. But yeah, it's a really fun game, great music, highly entertaining. You can play through it again and again. It's one of the few arcade games I would say, probably one of the best arcade games ever made, and very, very popular. Could they make it better? As I said, about the whole remake.
Could they make it great again?
I don't think so. I think they put it in as much as they could for this game, and between the two, it's hard to say which one's better, Ninja Turtles Arcade or Turtles in Time. You've played that one too, right?
I played Turtles in Time, or at the very least heard of it.
I mean, it's got different settings, but this has more of the classic characters, and I think this one's a bit more memorable, just because it has those extra stages, and I think the Ninja Turtles in Time one also has extra stages too that weren't in
and extra
version.
bosses, I believe.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a number of different variations, but definitely this version and also the Super Nintendo version are hard to beat, because the Genesis version was a little bit different. The levels and everything didn't quite have as much. between this X-Men and maybe the Spider-Man arcade game, it's hard to say which was like one of the best.
There was a Spider-Man arcade game?
Yeah, there was a Spider-Man arcade game. We haven't covered it, but
We might shortly.
it has Spider-Man, Black Cat, Namor, and I think there's Hawkeye. Yes, Hawkeye is the other character. Just a bunch of popular characters you don't really see necessarily as much anymore.
Okay, I get Black Cat, but why Namor and Hawkeye?
Namor's kind of like Dazzler in the X-Men game. It's sort of like,
but he's
what
more of
the
a Fantastic Four character.
Yeah, well, I guess Friends of Spider-Man is what they were going for.
Yeah,
But
well, if that was the case, why don't you go with Iceman and Sunfire?
Spider-Man has a lot of friends. I guess it's hard to choose from them.
Yeah.
But definitely, this is one of the arguably best beat-em-ups ever made. And it's, 20, 30 years later, and
Yep.
still
People
considered
still
one of the
play
best.
today, as you can see with us.
Exactly, and that's why it has an important footnote in history. As I said, I wouldn't say it's a perfect game, but I'd just say it would be very hard to remake it and make something equal or better than this version of the Ninja Turtles beat 'em up for sure. So, Nick, any other thoughts from the time you've played?
This game was a hero and a half shell, so
2 thumbs up.
2
I'll
thumbs
give it 2
way
thumbs up.
up.
So give it a shot if you can. If you can, try it on emulator. It's definitely a classic game that I think is pretty universal as well. So,
All right.
you're done?
Yep.
All right, guys. Keep on gaming, and we'll
And
see you next
adios,
time.
amigos.